Right, so out on the bike again. Thought we'd have a little cycle down to West Harling Church, which I have done a previous video on, though we've never actually got this close to it. Yeah, so I thought we'd have a closer look. Don't think we can go in, looks like it's locked, although it is actually Sunday, so not that I'd go in anyway on a Sunday. Not particularly religious myself, but you never know, could be someone in there worshipping, so yeah, gotta have some respect, haven't you? Yeah, so yeah, this is the church, and you have all this area around here, this field, which I believe is where the original West Harling village was. Abandoned village, abandoned long ago. The only sort of buildings that remain is a farm, which was possibly here at the time, and there is a manor house beyond them trees there. I think that's where the manor house was, or is, although it did actually burn down at some point, so that's not the original building over there. Yeah, if you can imagine, may well have been a few not substantial buildings in this area which would have formed the village, and the reason I say that is because this church has got a low wall all the way around it, and there are other churches in villages in this area which are still occupied, which have the same wall all the way around, and that's usually where the road runs in those villages, of the existing road. So yeah, makes me think that there's a few lumps and bumps in this field, so I would assume that there would have been some buildings here at some point. Yeah, it's a lovely church. Pity we can't get inside. I will have to come back at another point and see if we can get in, do some filming. But, yeah, I don't think they have regular services here or anything. But yeah, it is a fine church. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll put a, as I did with the previous video, put a starting point, grid reference or something, map reference as to the starting point. And yeah, I don't think we can get much further around here. Yeah, so you can, if you want to have a look, you know where to find it. There is actually a footpath that runs across that field, goes off into the woods there, towards the Dower House, I believe. And this is not actually far from where I did the previous video, which is over that way through them woods, that track that I went down. Yeah, so if you want to have a look at that video, you might find that quite interesting. There's the graves. See what that's about. Yeah, so West Harling, yeah, let's say it's an abandoned village. But the history of the area does go back quite a long way. I think they have found Neolithic maybe remains. No, there's definitely some burial mounds over, not burial mounds, some roundhouses, I think over that way, towards the river. So there's been occupation by the river for some time. It's the River Thet, by the way, over there. So Thetford, which is further along the river there. So Thetford, I think, was the sort of main East Anglian Saxon settlement, so it's a quite important area. And there are some Roman roads, one of which we'll cross later. So you've got Pedder's Way, and not quite sure where we are in relation to Icknield Way, but that's also in the area. Right, so what we'll do is, now get back on the bike, we'll head up towards what I call Five Ways, and I'll show you where the Roman road is, or supposed to be, allegedly a Roman road. I don't see any reason why not. When you look at it on a map, it's reasonably straight. Right, let's go. Unfortunately, I just realised, coming on this track from the West Harling Church, that the camera was switched off, so I was happily chatting away and about the history of East Harling and all sorts of nonsense, and yeah, I realised the camera is off, so I had to come back, just sort of pick up the halfway up the well, sort of most of the way across the track, back from West Harling Church, because what I want to show you is, and I've now seen it, so it's no surprise to me, I want to show you the bit of bridleway, public bridleway, which has been blocked off by a farmer. So let's get going. Make sure we are still filming. Yes. Yeah. So this bit of bridleway up here, and I believe, actually, when you look at, we're along a straight piece here, and we can see where that car is. I believe that is probably part of the original route through what someone's claimed as a garden. Yeah, up there, because that is actually in line with the bridleway, that sort of route through there. So it's been pushed round this corner onto the road. So if you look at my previous West Harling video, you'll see this is kind of where it turned in. So we go in the opposite direction completely, away from East Harling, away from West Harling. So just up here is the piece of bridleway I was talking about. And as you can see, the farmer has conveniently parked his trailer right in the middle of the bridleway to unload stock, whatever, I guess. But no reason why that couldn't be 6 foot that way, 6 foot to the right, and still give access to people coming down the bridleway. And I did report that to the council, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago, and so they've obviously done nothing about it, have they? Probably sent the farmer a letter and not followed it up, so it looks like they should have to put another report in. Yeah, got loads of space there. Right, and there is another thing here which is, I'm sure, designed to put people off going down there, and that is this sign here, which is no entry, biosecurity precautions, stop, keep out, all the rest of it. Nothing to do with this bridleway, perfectly safe along this bridleway. It's to do with the, they're all fenced over there, all the pigs over there. It's to do with that, going into those fenced areas. Public bridleway, blocked by an inconsiderate farmer, or he's maybe doing it on purpose. Right, so enough of that little rant. carry on. Camera set at the right angle now, might just have to adjust that, hopefully, because I can't see what's going on at the moment. I hope that's pointing roughly in the appropriate direction. Yeah, so hopefully, in the previous video it's mostly sort of through woodland. I picked that up. I've been watching this YouTube channel, and he's a very funny guy, Norfolk guy, Bongo Ben. I'll put a link in the description. He goes out and about to different places with his bongo camping. Yeah, it's very entertaining, put it like that. Yeah, and I've picked woodland, that's what he says, woodland, not woodland, woodland. I'll pick that up from him. I've been watching too much Bongo Ben. Living the dream. Yeah. What else was it? Oh yes, I was going to say, yeah, different bit of scenery. Hopefully the sun will stay out. It is starting to cloud over a little bit. Yeah, so, oh yeah, and I'm filming. I think I probably missed this bit on the, probably the bit I didn't film. I thought I was filming and I wasn't. Yeah, so I've swapped over cameras. I've got the Acaso on the chest mount, simply because, unlike my very old GoPro Hero 3, I think it is, this has got image stabilisation. I don't think, well, certainly no setting anyway on the GoPro, so hopefully we'll get a more stable image. Right, so this junction we're coming up to here is, I call it 5 ways. I don't know if that is an official term. Yeah, so 5 ways, well, there's 5 ways, so yeah, right, wait for this traffic to go. So this is one of the Roman roads. So up that way we have East Harling, up that road there, which you can probably see. It's very straight, and down this road here, not the one to Garbolsham over there, but this one here is also very straight, and that heads off to Actual Heath and Cody Weston out that way, and the other way cuts to this side of East Harling, goes up towards Snetterton, and the road sort of disappears from that point, and then it picks up again in Eccles, Hartham, and heads towards Attleborough. And if you look at Google Maps at this bit of road, you'll see, you can trace it is fairly straight. So this is supposed to be a Roman road across here. So we've got Garbolsham that way, Kenning Hall up this way, which is where I'm now going to go, East Harling that way, and West Harling back the way we've come. So let's get across this road. It's rather busy. The 1111. Yeah, so straight away you can see we're in some different scenery. A lot of pigs around this area. Yeah, what I was saying, let's just make sure we are, before I start waffling, yes we are still filming. I'm going to be panicking every 5 minutes that the camera's turned itself off now, and I'm waffling away and to myself. Well, it is to myself really, isn't it? Yeah, you can see there's a lot of pigs in this area. Whereas years ago it probably would have been mostly sheep, and that is what East Harling, the village of East Harling, became rich on, or some of the people in the village became rich on, because it was a major centre of sheep trade. I think I think it's like Fairfold it's called. There's an area behind the fire station, some fields there, which is apparently where the sales took place, and I think they stopped before the war, before the Second World War. There is a link I will put in if I remember, sort of well, dusty, on potted history of the area. Dust, that was actually a fly. That's what happens when you ride with your mouth open, catch flies. This road is actually a lot busier than I was expecting. Then last time I came down here was probably a weekday, and a lot earlier in the season. Might have been last year. Yeah, so the other reason for using this Casso camera, if I haven't said it already, might well have done, is I found the imaging, the actual colours, to be a bit more vivid than the GoPro. So I thought we'd give this a go. Set this up on the chest mount, see how we get on. And I'm now puffing and panting a bit, because although you probably can't tell, this is a hill for Norfolk anyway, a Norfolk hill, long and slow, not very steep, but it does make you puff. Yeah, so this road heads up to the Kenninghall Garbolgham Road. So we'll take a little ride along there. It's not a very nice road, a bit busy, but there's really no other way to go. And got my usual pet hate along here. Every few yards, piece of litter. You could easily fill up a carrier bag with the junk that's left along this road. God knows why. Can't be from people walking. Must come out of car windows, because there is absolutely nothing around here bar a couple of farms. Right, I think I might have to stop talking for a little while till we get to the top of this hill. Looks like we've got wheat on the left, maize on the right. And here's something I didn't realise was along here said I was going to stop talking, but that's a little Caravan and Motorhome Club CL. No idea that was here. Flint Hall Farm, Flint Hall Bungalow down there. Nearly to the top of the hill. Starting to level off a bit. Of course, I've been working on them ditches there. At least they are cleaning them out. So this is a lot of a problem with flooding. Ditches don't get cleared. And this one obviously has been. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah, I had a right go at that. Along that field, right along, yeah, good job. Right, that's better. We're downhill now. I think we're hills, isn't it? If you go up, you've got to go down. If you go down, you've got to go up at some point. Coast a little bit down here and catch my breath, I think. Probably getting a lot of wind noise on the microphone. So let's see the junction now. Check we're still filming in a little bit. There's no reason why this camera should turn itself off. You can just see the blue light flashing, so don't cross the road when the blue light is flashing. Very faded sign there. Right, yep, we're clear. Right, so this crossroads coming up here and that way to the right goes to the Lophams, North and South Lopham, and that way to the left goes pretty much back the way we came, except a little bit further up into West Harling. We're going uphill again, aren't we? I don't quite know what's in that field. To the left. I'm going to guess that's Sugar Beet to the right. Can't really see. It's green anyway, whatever it is. One thing I did forget to do, which I probably regret, is I didn't put my suntan cream on my head. I've not got that on. Hey. I've got a hat with me, but not a cycling helmet, but a very protective bucket hat. I'm probably in more danger of getting sunburn on my head than getting involved in an RTA anyway. Right, so we're now coming into Kenninghall. Careful drivers welcome. Banham Zoo straight ahead. Well, quite a long way ahead. The way I'm going is off to the left here, back towards East Harling. Right. Here we go. I'm only going to stop and have a slurp in a minute. All this talk can make you dry, doesn't it? So, this road is Telegraph Hill. So, there's actually more than one hill along here. And telegraph might not mean what you think it means, unless you know, of course. Just get up the top of this hill. Just shows how unfit I am, really. Oh, bloody hell. A police car. I'm sure I saw a police car. That's a rare sight to behold round here. Especially down this road. Right, you can tell we're pretty high up. Well, high for Norfolk. There's a water tower there, which I'm guessing is for Kenninghall. Just pull in here and have some water. So some of those security, you can see that there, the blue yellow things. Some remote security. I guess because there's some sort of building works going on. Let's have a little look. Yeah. CCTV. You are on CCTV, even out here. Good grief. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, I'm sure. Doing masking things up the top. Better go before we get accused of anything. Big brother is watching you. Ah, right. Are we still filming? Yes. Right, so that's the first of the little hills. Right, so Telegraph goes way back, goes before any sort of electric communication, as in wired communication, signal wires, all that. The telegraph is more like I suppose it's more kind of like semaphore signals really, or flag signals on ships. So I'll see if I can find a picture of what they were supposed to look like. Put that in the video. Yeah, so basically from what I can remember seeing somewhere, God knows where, back in my distant memory, I can remember seeing a picture of one. So it's basically a frame which is divided up, I think either with canvas or that you can open and close, or flaps, wooden flaps you can open and close. So you have solid areas and open areas. So you'd have a series of these across the countryside. Probably went out towards the coast because I think they were intended to warn of naval ship attack on Britain. Probably the French. You know what they're like. Yeah, so I don't know, Napoleonic or whether even before then. But yeah, so you'd have a series of these telegraphs on high points across the countryside, so they'd all be in view of one another. So you'd basically relay a signal from telegraph to telegraph. But if you think about it, it's probably quite quick because it's all line of sight, and you've only got to change the signal on each telegraph as you go. So hence why Telegraph Hill. Exactly where a little Ranny just went across there. And when I say Ranny, I mean a small fairy creature of no description. That's too far away for me to tell what it was. Wrong gate. Uphill again. So this is one of the other hills. My head is now getting quite hot. Yeah, so exactly which one of these, I think there's 3 hills on this road. Exactly which one of these hills was the position. Cool. Onions or chives, I can smell. Distracted. Yeah, which one was the exact position? I don't know. But I'm gonna hedge my bets on this one, because although you can't see that way very well, there's quite a good view. Well, you probably can't see it. I get up here on the verge. There's quite a good view in all directions from up here. Should have got the other camera out, shouldn't I? Ooh, attacked by a bramble. Don't go in the verge. Verge emerge. Oh yes, something else here of interest. This is what more farmers should be doing. A rather large water reservoir, home break farm. Yeah, part funded by the EU or EAF. Yeah, I don't know if you can. If I can get the camera up high enough. Stretch my chest mount. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more of those in future. It's better than water abstraction, isn't it? At least the rivers aren't going to dry up. Yeah, funny enough, I used to live on a cottage, not in this area, in Ringland, near Norwich. Yeah, see, this is quite steep down here, this hill. Yeah, and there was a well in the garden. And one day, Mr. Farmer came along, claiming that he could extract water from my well. So for once, it was a case of me saying, get off my land. Because he ain't got no right to extract water from my well in my land. And that was the last I saw of him. Cheeky bugger. Not that I use the water out of the well. It's less than well, I don't know how far away, a matter of yards away, tens of yards away, was my cesspit. So yeah, certainly wouldn't have wanted to drink the water out there, although that was actually at one point attached to the cottage. There was a pipe leaving the well, which had a pump on the end of it, down the well. Pig. Yeah. Electrically operated pump with a pipe going up into the attic of the cottage, and a large tank with a sensor on it. So when that was connected, whenever the tank started to get low, it would automatically switch the pump on in the well and draw water up into the tank. Neat system. Yeah, so this is the third one of the hills we're at the top of, and actually this does have an equally good view in all directions. What I really want is a gap in the hedge off to the right. Every time we find a gap in the hedge, I think we'll be off the hill. Oh, you might be able to see from here. Yeah, so this is another possible location the Telegraph might have been. Yeah, you can see Good view. I don't know if the camera's picked it up. As you can see, there is this large stack over there. I think that is the waste incinerator, which is sort of the other side of the Snetterton circuit. So you can see what sort of range there is, visual range. Yeah, that side. And there is another little bridleway there, which cuts across to that road which I didn't go down, the one that was opposite the Lopmans. Yeah, so I have been down there. Actually, that's not a bridleway. It's a restricted byway. Yeah, I have cycled down there. You go through a farm, I can remember. And I think the guy down there keeps birds of prey in his garden. Which was a bit of a surprise. First time I cycled down there. Right, so you can now see the outskirts. Those red roofs down there. And over there. The outskirts of East Harling. So I don't know if we'll go any further and get back into the village, and then yeah, I think this is probably going to be quite a long video again, so I probably won't do any more or very much more. Might just do a little bit through the village, and this afternoon I shall have a load of editing to do. It shouldn't be too bad because I have only, although I've got the other camera with me, I've actually only been recording on this camera, so I haven't got any synchronisation to do. Another public footpath there, back there, which goes across to Quidnam Road. Past the old mill, windmill that is. New House Estate to the right. School to the right. Actually, might have a little look down Gallant's Lane. Free pallet. Why the school gates are open on a Sunday. do like Gallants Lane. It's one of my little routes that I used to take during when I was still working from home, during my lunch break. And opposite here we have Fen Lane, which has got a long history. We'll have a little, probably not a bike ride down there because it's a bit rough, probably a little walk down there on a video one day. Some lovely old cottages around here. Yeah, so that's Fen Lane opposite. And I've just noticed that house back there on the corner of Fen Lane has been renamed correctly. And this is White Hart Street, and for a long time that, which was a pub on the corner there, had White Hart on its front as a sign, which it never was. It was a trowel and hammer. Morning. Yeah, so looks like they have corrected their signage. Right, yeah, so like I say, this is White Hart Street. We're now going back towards Memorial Green, where there is the sign of the Lamb, East Harling sign with the Lamb on it. So yeah, I'll probably end this video. Yeah, so please subscribe, please like, please comment, and all the rest of that old malarkey. No, honestly, your comments are much appreciated. Morning. Yeah, that's Memorial Green. Yeah, that was a nice little ride round. It's now starting to cloud over, so yeah, I'm going to head back.